Hey YouTube land, Tycondrius here, and we are taking a quick look at a new action figure review for the Flash movie Keaton Batman by Mcfarlane Toys. So I picked this up at my local toy store called Smith's. They got them in. They didn't seem to have quite a lot of them in, but they probably will get more eventually. But I managed to pick this one up online. I was able to get it shipped to my house. So they do some online sales as well if you want to have a look there. This is the one I was most excited for out of the whole wave of figures, which is the Keaton Batman. It's been a while since we've gotten a Keaton Batman in any kind of shape or form. Previous versions, if I still have one handy, there was a NECA version, which I don't have at the moment, and there's a Mezco one that is incredibly expensive, but this is kind of a more budget version for those who can't spend hundreds and hundreds of euros on a figure. But this is the King Batman. There was a smaller line version in the Multiverse as part of the Mattel line. They did 4-inch scale versions of this guy, and those are the only ones to the off the top of my head that I can remember. So I know there might be other versions of them, maybe statues out there, but these are the only ones I can think of. There is a 12-inch scale Mcfarlane statue, but we'll get into that in a minute. So he does come in the standard Multiverse box. It just has the Flash movie logo in it and has Batman, and it says the Batman Multiverse the Flash. And then, as you saw, there's an artwork on the back of it. Instead of actually using the figure thing, there is a app as well for DC Infinite, Universe Infinite, whatever that is. There's a QR code on the side of the box for that. And he comes with a standard base, a collector card, which has write-up about Barry Allen arriving in an alternate 2013, and he looks for his mentor Bruce, and once he finds the multiverse is different on all fronts, this is a different version of Bruce that he finds. So basically he finds what is the equivalent of a semi-retired version of Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton movies. So the figure itself is quite nice. If I can find my tape measure, I will see if I can do a measurement of it. And my tape measure seems to have gone AWOL. Aha. So he does stand a little bit taller than some of the other Batmans, I think. To the tippy-toppy points of his little ears, he's actually nearly 7.5 inches. So he's kind of tall. I think most of the other Batman movie verse sort of Batman figures. Now the only one I don't have out of the movie figures is the Christian Bale one. I don't either have the NECA version or the McFarlane one that was released recently, but I do have the Patterson Batman and the Batfleck Batman to do a quick comparison at some point. So onto his other accessories, he does come with a Batarang and a grapple launcher. The grapple launcher and Batarang both look like they're lifted directly from the Tim Burton era movies. The only exception is they're done in a bright silver. I think that's more possibly so that you don't lose them. But he does have the grapple launcher and the Batarang. The ones that Batman used in the Tim Burton films were in kind of a gloss black. And he does come with a pair of alternate fists, which are literally fists. They're enclosed fists. There's left and right. So it's not designed to hold the Batarang. The Batarang hand, I believe, is this right hand one, which has a sort of kind of pinching look to it, and it's also designed to hold the grapple launcher. So you can get the Batarang in his hand fairly nicely, and it does fit in there quite good. It doesn't want to drop out, and you can get him to hold the grapple launcher a little bit tighter, but you can get him to hold it in his right hand, and you can squish it into his left hand as well if you want. The left hand doesn't really have a trigger finger hand, it's more of a standard grip hand, but he does have that. So for articulation, he is fairly articulated. So he has diaphragm joint, which he can rotate all around. He can move back that much. He has the waist. He has the kind of diaper crotchy thing going on, so he can do splits that much. He can kick forward that much. He has dual jointed knees. He does have sort of a greenish kind of coloring on his legs. He's pretty much predominantly all kind of a glossy black with some matte black thrown in, and then he has the bat emblem on his chest, and then he has the, you know, the open cowl with the lower portion of his face. And I must say, in hand, the actual lightness isn't too bad. I know the promo pictures looked very kind of washed out, and I'm not sure the light on my setup here is making it look washed out, but he does actually have a sort of skin tone wash to his face, and he does actually have like lip paint as well on, so he's not too plain. He does have the kind of standard Batman belt, that like the Burton style belt, except the only difference is it's in all black instead of the gold or yellow that he had in the Burton movies. So there is that. His armor is pretty much very much like an amalgamation of evolution of his Batman suits. So it doesn't look like the standard Batman from Tim Burton. It actually does look different, but the boots kind of retain that kind of design of the Burton, and the gauntlets, can't remember what those are called, but they kind of still look like they are from the Burton era, whereas this upper area kind of does look different. He can pop his arms up that much. His armor does tend to get in the way a tiny bit. You can rotate his arms all the way around. What's great about this is he actually has a soft goods cape. I know some people, it's really annoying because some people whinged about the solid capes and then some people whinge about the soft goods cape. So Mcfarlane can't win either way on which way they do the capes, but they do. The reasoning behind the soft goods cape, I would imagine, is because it is for him to fit in the various vehicles that are coming out, which I don't have yet, which is the Batmobile, in-scale Batmobile, and the in-scale Batwing. So I'm assuming the soft goods cape is designed for that, so he can fit into that a lot better. You can almost recreate that kind of opening sequence from the original Batman when he flaps his wings out, or the cowl out, or the cape. He does have dual jointed elbows, so you can get a good over 90-degree bend. He does have upper bicep swivel, he has wrist swivel, and he has a hinge, I believe, yes, depending on which way you have the hinge set, it'll go up or down or in and out. So, and the hands just pop out. Make sure I have the right one. So if you want to give him the punching fist, you can give him a punching fist. So you can make him look like he's punching the screen. And his ankles have it has the similar standard kind of Mcfarlane ankle thing, but it has a swivel just up here, and it has a rocker ankle. He does have the little toe booty thing, and he does have peg holes on both feet. But the way they've done these newer ones is they sculpt, instead of the old ball joint, if I have someone that has that, they used to just like a big unsightly ball joint for the ankles, whereas this is more sculpted to look like part of the boot, which is quite nice. He doesn't have any thigh swivel, and he does have a ball jointed head, so you can get good range of movement on the head. You can actually get him into kind of a flight pose if you wish. Not that Batman would be doing any sort of, you know, Superman style flight poses, but you can get him to arch his back quite a bit and get him into a sort of weird flight pose. So he is quite articulated. He's quite a really good figure, and as I said, I quite enjoyed this one. I am looking to get the Batfleck or Ben Affleck style Batman from this movie as well. Again, it's another one where I think the head looks weird. I think it might look better in person, but for a comparison, I'm going to move some boxes out of the way, and I am going to bring in some of the other movieverse Batman that I have. So, starting off with Batfleck, because he's in the same movie. This is the Justice League version. I do wish McFarlane would go back and do a Batman versus Superman version, because I did like that kind of grey suit that he wore. The kind of, it was still armored, but it wasn't as armored as the tactical bat suit. So you do have that. He does stand, you can see the ears on the cowl are a good bit higher than Batfleck's and Ben Affleck's version. And then the other one we'll bring in, which is one of the more recent, the Todd Phillips. Is it Todd Phillips? I think it's Todd Phillips. Robert Patterson version of the Batman, or from the Batman. So you can see how he stacks next to him. Then he's a small smidge smaller, even with the ears, but he is still quite tall. And then for some jokers, a joker, because it's probably the best Joker you could probably get to fit with him, even though it doesn't look anything like Jack Nicholson, and I highly doubt we will ever see a Jack Nicholson version of Joker in this scale, or in, well, there has been hot toy versions of him, but you know, NECA couldn't even get likeness rights, because Jack Nicholson guards his likeness rights incredibly well. So this is probably a nice Joker to go with this Batman. You could probably use the Killing Joke style version one with the hat, or even the older Joker would look quite good with this. In fact, I'd say most of the McFarlane Jokers would kind of square up pretty well with the Keaton Batman. It just depends on which way you wanted to go with it. But overall, it is a really nice figure. And I am just going to see if I can get one other figure for size comparison, if I have it handy. Bear with me a moment. Just for more movie-esque figures, this is the Patterson movie, the Batman movie Penguin. Obviously, it's not Danny DeVito, but this is the Patterson movie Penguin, who also doesn't look too bad with the Keaton Batman. You could almost get away with them being in the same universe. Almost. Not quite, but almost. So, overall, it is a really cool Batman figure. I do hope to try and get the other stuff in the line. I'm not too pushed on the Flash figures. Even the Flash figure that's wearing like a hand-me-down bat suit, those don't appeal to me, but the two Batman figures and the vehicles are the mainstay of this line for me, so I probably will review those. I probably won't do the other ones, but if I do pick them up, I will. But unless someone out there in McFarlane Land, or who runs McFarlane, watches my videos and would love to donate a set of them to me, I would be really appreciated, but I probably won't be picking them up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video review of the Batman figure from the new Flash movie. Is the Flash movie out soon? At the time of this recording, it hasn't come out yet, and it's due out, I think, in a couple of months' time. So, or maybe a month's time, not sure which. But either way, it does look to be an interesting movie. And I think I will wrap it up there. So I hope you enjoyed this video review, and as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my videos. Cheers, guys.